All right, Shalom. I want to first and foremost start off giving our glory, our praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, God of Israel, to the 12 tribes of Israel, blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. And today specifically, we'll be going in on the Latins and the Native Americans. But this is Brother Yashar coming in from the Children of the Light camp. Um, salutations or double honors and salute to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you Akims out there, few sisters, Aquas pushing his truth to the fullness, diligently, and sincerity. But man, I'm gonna get right into it, man. So just I was watching the brother Karad's video that he did outside. Most recent one is about 48 minutes, and he was going into second Esdras, in which you will have second Esdras, the Salaki, the 13th chapter, in which you will have a lot of you know well, of course, you got Christians. They think everybody can be saved, which you can prove that you can break them down many different ways using the scriptures to prove that it's only talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. But you also have amongst Israelite brothers, sisters, and camps out there, and not everybody, but you do have some, and they would say that the 12 tribes of Israel is only basically like the 12 tribes of Judah. Like the 12 tribes of Israel is just all blacks, in which we know that the 12 tribes of Israel is blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. You can prove that by Genesis chapter 49, which we'll go into that. You can also prove it second Esdras. But cause I was just thinking about this, like, dang man, like, of course, the Latins and Native Americans are also part of Israel, cause it speaks all about the other 12 tribes. So the Northern Kingdom in the Bible, you had the Northern Kingdom, which was the Latins and Native Americans. You had the Southern Kingdom, which was Judah and Levi and Benjamin. But we're gonna go to second Esdras. It's 38. It says Salaki, not Benjamin, because it was 10 tribes. So you had top two tribes, Judah and Levi. So I think about it. But it's the book of second Esdras, chapter 13. Make sure it's at the right chapter. Okay. 38. And it says, and no, we'll start at 30. I'll start at 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, okay, and what's this peaceable multitude? And see, talking about it's peaceable multitude. The first point, because that peaceable multitude was those 12 tribes. I mean, it's like those 10 tribes of Israel, which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, which is really Hosea, which uh, which means savior, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. Okay. Now let's get that. Now, first of all, we're gonna prove that it's not Hosea, it's Hosea or Hoshea. Salakia. As you can see, Hoshea in the Hebrew means salvation, but you can also get this in the blue letter. Was the 19th and last king of the northern kingdom of Israel and son of Elah, not the Israelite king Elah. William F. Albright dated his reign to 732-21 BCE, while E.R. Thiele offered the dates 732 to 723. So which one is right? Because 732, let's see. You got 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. So the first guy says 11 years. Second guy says 9 years. That's not right. 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Right. Had to keep it, do the finger count real quick. So which one is right? William Albright or ERTL? Well, let's go to the scriptures because you have to prove that's why it says prove everything which is paraphrasing, prove everything which is good. The scriptures, where is it? It's in First Kings chapter. I gotta look it up actually. First Kings chapter 17. First Kings chapter 17. KJV. Matter of fact, it's right in front of me. Okay, because this is the part. Is it 17? No, I think it's 22 actually. Or Second Kings. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Second Kings. But this is the part where you get to match history with the scriptures. Let's see. Second Kings, King Hosea reigned 9 years. What's that? Second Kings 17 and 1. Okay. So let's go to it real quick. Second Kings 17 and 1. It says, in the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. Okay. So that second dude, the second guy, William, what's his name? So like I got this stuff all over the place because you know how to study and be. But okay, the second dude is ERTL. He off it right. So from 732 to 723, that's how long Hoshea, the last king of the northern kingdom, that's how long he reigned. And right then after 723 BC, before Christ, that's when the northern kingdom went into slavery. Okay, so let's keep going on that second Esdras, because now we're gonna put the other parts of the puzzle, pieces to the puzzle. Now it says, verse 40, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king, who Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. He carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. Okay. Now, but they took this counsel among themselves. And see, when it says they came into another land, they weren't in what is known as America just yet. Okay. Because in 41 it says, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. Right, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. And in 44, them signs was some chariots leading them, because the same, just as they did with Christoph Columbus. Let's get that real quick, because we actually able to put everything together to prove that Yahweh was dealing with the Latins and Native Americans, and he was showing them, guiding them, to that further land that mankind has never been. Okay, so you can really just you can go anywhere for it. We just go to this first, and this is by the New York Times. We just make it quick, but I'm looking at it. But it happened 7 times. The light went up and down 7 times. So I just go to any one of these. But basically, it was him and one of his, or what was it, three of his men. And they saw the light pop up in the sky, which is the chariot of the Lord. And as you can see, a mysterious light gleamed as Columbus drew near, because the chariot was leaving. Because the thing about it was a further land where he had never been before. Come on now, you basically ain't this called being led by faith? So he didn't know where the fuck he was going, where the fuck he actually was supposed to go. He knew he never been there before, so that's why the Lord sent him a chariot to lead him over here. Which we know, of course, who did he meet? The Native Americans and the Indians, or the Native Americans, the Gad and Reuben. So how did they know? How did he meet them? How did they know to get over here? Same way, by a chariot. That's why it tells you in the second Esdras. Okay. So boom, now that we've helped prove the fact that them 10 tribes is talking about 10 tribes of Israel is the Latins and Native Americans. Let's go back to it though. Just finish it up. It says, but they took this counsel, verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country, America, where never mankind dwelt, and not just North America, the Americas. Because you still have South America, Mexico, the Mayans, Incans, and the Mayans, Incans, and the Aztecs. There we go. That they might keep their statues which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. Now, we're going to get that in an NLT. All right. Because it's important for you to understand exactly what this is saying. What is this passage? Real quick. Second Ezra 15. Okay, let's see. I guess I gotta go to the actual verse. Chapter 15, verse 42, NLT. Instead of KJV. Also, like it 13:42. Common English Bible. I'm looking for the NLT, but they ain't got it. But basically, I'm just gonna help, prove the point when it says, "Go forth into a further country," or no, that they may keep their statues which they never kept in their own land, because that's what they did. They was trying to break away from the Assyrians, so they can go ahead and because we Hebrew Israelites, we ain't supposed to be over there worshiping the false gods and all that. They led us into captivity, took us to their land. Nope, trying to break up out of there. That's why Yahweh Bashim Yahushua let them out. Now, okay. So like I say, I ain't gonna worry about that in the NLT. It's not popping up. Let's see, NIV. I know the elders, they said, just stay away from that. What was it, the NIV? Here it goes. It's KJV. It's still, but it's cool though. But going on to the next point, now that we know that, okay, you can't make the argument that those other 10 tribes or the 12 tribes of Israel is all brown skinned peoples. We know that. Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13, it'll tell you. Now you also have motherfuckers be like, well, and come on now, it's plain and obvious to know that that's America. But you have motherfuckers be like, well, how did the Israelites wasn't the first ones in the Americas, and it was the Africans, and they'll show you different books. Well, check this out. If you know anything about Solomon, King Solomon, you go to First Kings, because once again, this is all history, not a mystery, man. When you find these things out and read into them, that's when you can really start shutting any topics, any conversations down, because you had a truth. It's only one truth and it's many lies, you know. I always like to say that. But let's go to First Kings. Let me see, I got it in my, like I said, I got it in the book right in front of me, so I'm gonna pull it out in the book and then see exactly where it's at. Chapter 10. Because Solomon, man, he was, come on now, the wisdom of Solomon. He was not one of, he was the greatest king that ever lived. We gonna pull that out as well. But we're gonna prove that Solomon been over to the Americas. He been had all the riches from the Americas because it never been touched before, not by man. And we also gonna prove that no, the Africans, um, when it comes to the Americans, no, the Africans were not the first ones that ever inhabited. Okay, so it says, let's see, we're gonna start at verse. Yeah, I'll start at verse 11. Now it says, in the navy also of Haram, which Haram at the time was king of Tyre. You know, he was in affiliation for Solomon with Solomon, worked for him. In the navy also of Haram, they brought gold from Ophir, which King Solomon liked to call America back then Ophir. And brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir great plenty of almug trees and precious stones. And the king made of the almug trees pillars for the house of the Lord, and for the king's house harps also and psalteries for singers. There came no such almug trees, nor were seen unto this day. Okay, and it says, and King Solomon gave unto the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty. So she turned and went into her own country, and her servants. So that's how you know when it comes to the argument. You know, Solomon never did anything with Queen Sheba sexually. So you never can mix Israel and Hamites, Israelites and Hamites. Because what's the book? The Ethiopian book, the Kabra. It says the Ark of the Covenant was hid. Solomon and Queen Sheba had a son. Nope. Because right then and there it says he just, she came to him. And if you scroll up in verse 7, it says, howbeit I believed not the words until I came, and my eyes had seen it, and behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceedeth the fame which I heard. So that was Queen Sheba when she first seen Solomon. Like, damn, you know how tell somebody like, man, you don't even know the half of it, man. Like, they told me he only, he had this and that, and when she pulled up, she pulled up with a train, when she pulled up a train of servants. When she pulled up and seen what he had, it's like, man, he's shitting on everybody else, and all the stories and rumors and things I heard about him, quadruple that. She she got way more. Okay, but jumping back down to verse 13, we'll start back at 14. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 603 score and 6 talents of gold, and that's a lot of, that's a lot. Beside that, he had of the merchantmen and of the traffic of the spice merchants and of all the kings of Arabia and the governors of the country. Okay, and that shows that just Solomon was he had power, man. He had power from other nations. He had armies. It clearly shows you he had a navy from the king of Tyre, Hiram. You know, he had merchants from and of all the kings of Arabia and of the governors of the country. So just how niggas what they say nowadays, they moving weight, moving work. Well, he was doing that back then in the well, he was moving real work, you know, precious stones and gold. That's why it tells you that it say no silver was touched, you know, because it was all gold. We're gonna keep going though. And he made 300 shields of beaten gold. Um, 3 pound of gold went to one shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Damn, so man, they had golden shields. Who finna get through that? Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with the best gold. The throne had 6 steps, and the top of the throne was round behind, and there were stays on either side of the place of the seat. The 2 lions stood beside the stays, and 12 lions stood there on the one side and on the other upon the 6 steps. There was not the like made in any kingdom. So when you see all them Hamites and they show they got the lions and the tigers at the king with the king and they just sitting chilling. They ain't got no chains on. They under the king's, you know what I'm saying, rulership basically. Nigga, that's all our shit. We had all that. That's King Solomon right there because it's telling you. So that's where they get all them ideas from. And it says, and all King Solomon's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. Did it say anything about King of Edom? Nope. King of Nope. So all the white motherfuckers who they got all this fine china and oh I got my 5 gold forks and 5 gold spoons and all no, we had that was us. So Edomites, y'all biting style, cause it all goes back to us. We had all that shit, but we had it in the hundreds, in the thousands, and in the hundreds of thousands. For the king had at sea, wait, and all kings. Oh yeah, we read that. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Haram. So that's them Hamites. He had them. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. Right, because we know that it took 1.5 years to get from where they was at to the Americas. Because if you think about it, come on now, Solomon was wise, the wise king, the wise king of the earth. You know, he already knew that it wasn't gonna take that long to get to, Assyria or Edom or Moab, any of them, or Ammon, any of them other nations that was round about. It took you a year and a half to get to the Americas and a year and a half to get back. That's why it says, once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. And then it says, so King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom. And all the earth sought to Solomon to hear his wisdom, which Yahweh have put in his heart. See, that's where he gets it from, because it all goes back to the Most High. He has to give you that spiritual power and that physical power. And they brought every man his present, vessels of silver and vessels of gold, and garments and armor and spices and horses and mules, a rate year by year. And Solomon gathered together chariots and horsemen, and he had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, from whom he bestowed in the cities of chariots and the cities for the chariots, and with the king at Jerusalem. See, and the king made silver to be in Jerusalem as stones, and cedars made he to be as the sycamore trees that are in the vale for abundance. See, so he had everything. I'll finish it up at 29. And Solomon had horses brought out of Egypt, and linen yarn. The king's merchants received the linen yarn at a price. And a chariot went out of Egypt for 600 shekels of silver, and a horse for 150. And so for all the kings of the Hittites and for the kings of Syria, They did bring them out by their means. So what did it say? And the chariot came up and went out of Egypt for 600 shekels of silver. So he had all the other kings. They had to cough up that bread, cough up that which I can't say paper because you know fuck that American paper dollar. We know that's worth nothing. We talking about real money, gold and silver. You know, they had to give Solomon all that for them goods. Okay, but yeah, that's just proving that Solomon been over here. America has been discovered. You know, Christoph Colombo, which he was a crypto Jew. He was not the first one to discover it, but will help prove the matter. Because if you go here and I'll read it from the Jewish Encyclopedia, which that's actually anything we know is Jewish. Actually goes back to true Jew. So that's how you know this is our talking about our shit. The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel, the ones that we was just reading about in Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration. And when they say them laws of Moses, that's why you go back into what was that? 42. It says, verse 42, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. Okay, until the time of the restoration, Columbus identified America with his land, Arsareth. Okay, now if you go now, Columbus he identified America as Arsareth. Now let's go to it. Well, let's keep reading. Go back to Second Ezra, because man, once again, all we doing is just putting the pieces to the puzzle, you know, and it'd be very good to take notes on this. You know, if, like you knew where I was watching, because when you got it forever, and can't nobody tell you differently. So let's see, starting at 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. See, we just brought that out. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. Um, Same thing he did was that when the Israelites, when it came to the Red Sea, they was fleeing from Pharaoh. That's how we showing making observation of how he dealing with the northern and the southern kingdom, Israel as a whole. Uh, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. In the same region is called Arsareth. And what did America? What did Columbus identify that as? America. See, so we are so there you go right there, plain as day. And it don't take long to get this. You got it, like I said, you got it, you got it. But just looking through some more articles, we'll see. And that's really about it actually on the articles that I look. But then when you go to Genesis chapter 49, it helps you even go more even to the 12 tribes and describing them and how you can match them with those three proverbs / bywords that were called the BLs and the NAs. All right, so we'll start at verse 1. And it says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Anytime Man, and them last days speaking on right now, these times we in right now. But anytime I go into Genesis 49, I get excited because I'm like, man, it's proving, it's talking about us. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, Yasharallah. I'm sorry, yeah, Israel, right, Yasharallah, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might. And whoa, before we go into it, let's go ahead, pull up 12 tribe signs so we can put the pieces to the puzzle as we've been doing. Because by the end of the lesson, we're going to be able to have the puzzle solved. There you go. There you go. That's the one. I ain't trying to buy nothing. Not just yet. It's spiritual that I say that because, you know, got to get ready to, in the coming months, start hitting the highways and the byways. So we is going to be having to put that money in to get to be able to, spread the word, be steadfast and move forward with the works. But okay, so who we at? We at Reuben. We got the Seminole Indians, in which that and I'll just briefly go through them. I ain't gonna spend too much time in chapter 49. But Reuben in the Hebrew is Ra Aban, and that C is a son. So that's why he was the first one that came out. With his mother Rebecca say, "See, it's a son." Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and beginning of my. Oh, so like I'm looking, because I'm looking at reading the book. Let me go back to the here we go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure that as well. Yeah, I said so like I said, Rebecca, he had three wives. It was Bilhah, Zilpah, Jacob's three wives. Real 12 tribes. Cause yeah, it wasn't Rebecca. Salaki on that. Because I had to think about that. Leah, Rachel, yeah, Bilpah and Zilhah. Bilhah, Zilpah, not Rebecca. That's the only reason I paused. I was like, hold on, let me straighten that up. But it say Reuben. Let me go back to it. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, in the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defoulest thou it. He went up to my couch. Yeah, because Reuben slept with his father's concubine, Genesis 35 and 22. Okay, so let's go down to what's that? The Simeon. It said Simeon and Levi, verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Yep, because when that Hamite had sex with the Israelite sister, when it goes into the and that Hamite had sex with the Israelite sister, he had sex with the I think she was who was she, a Levite sister? Either Levi or the Simeonite. And they told the Hamites, okay, man, for y'all to do that, y'all had sex with our sister. All y'all men got to get uncircumcised or circumcised. So them Hamites, when they had all the men cut off they foreskin and they was resting, while the young men they went in there, the brothers they went in there and killed all them Hamites for having sex with their sisters. Because Israelite women ain't supposed to be dealing with no Hamite, no other nation, men from any other nation, only Israel. In which that's a whole different topic. So you can look into that. It's the one you can just be like, you can look up Israelite brothers who killed um, the men over having sex with their sister. But we're gonna stay in Genesis for right now. But also, when it comes to Simeon and Levi, which Simeon in the Hebrew is Shemaiwan, that's affliction heard, and Levi is Law Yah, with the Sons of the Law. So I got my notebook right here. I can pull it out because it got everybody in there. I go to the OG notebook real quick. But let's see. 12 tribes. 12 tribes. Where we at? Name of the Messiah. So it gotta be in this one. Oh, see one of them. Honestly, Akims, I feel like it fell out. It might have been that page that fell out. Because you know you be having notebooks for so long, and then some shit just you don't want it to fall out. But it fall out, you can't keep up with it, you lose it. So that's why I can't probably ain't gonna be able to come off the head with all the names in the Hebrew. Damn man, yeah, that's crazy. Thought I had it. We'll keep it going now. I'm gonna keep reading. But it says Simeon and Levi are brethren, instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not down to their secret until their assembly, mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. See? It's talking about when they was defending their sister. And I'm gonna just jump down to Judah. It says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies, thy father's children shall bow down before thee. And so when they say the neck of thy enemies, it's talking about us being in captivity. But as we know, we're gonna get that power back, and that's the American blacks, you know. And we'll say Simeon is the Dominicans, Levi's the Haitians. They share an island. They split the island in half, and they don't like each other. Matter of fact, it's the river that split the island in half. So it shows that Yahweh, the Most High, you know, it's spiritual because he split them in half for a reason. It says, that's why I say Simeon and Levi are brethren. But back to Judah, verse 11, binding his foal into the vine and his ass's coats into the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine and his teeth white with milk. Ooh, that sounds like describing Yahweh Shai. Remember, he was from Judah. Revelations 1 and 14 and 15. It say Issachar is a strong ass, couching down. It's Salaki. I'm not even showing the scripture. I'm reading from the book. But Genesis 49 and 14. Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens. And it's talking about North America and South America, because Mexico, which is Issachar, Yeshashkar in the Hebrew, is it's in right in the middle of North and South America. And he saw that rest was good in the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant to tribute. That's why Israel ain't got no tripping, in which, you know, the younger generation, they recognize it now because, you know, they're like, nah, fuck all that. We won't, you know, we ain't finna do what our parents did, build everything up, da 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 da. But Issachar back then, you know, from the times that they came over here, had no tripping, building stuff up and planting and gardening, and you know what I'm saying, and because that's them, they got the strength to do that. You know, that's why when you speak on America, they say, who built America? Who built this motherfucker up? The blacks and the Mexicans. And it says, Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that bitteth the horse, so that his rider shall fall backward. So Dan is not a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. And it says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. And when it's talking about that troop overcoming Gad, a troop shall overcome him, that's talking about Edomites when they was using that rape, disease, and the iron whipping. with them Gatling guns and them pistols and 6 shooters and all them foreign diseases and viruses they was bringing over here. Because we know about it. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. You pagan, you heathens out there. You just celebrated that last month. And now you about to go into celebrating Christmas tomorrow. You celebrating Nimrod, you Nimrod and all that shit. But we know the truth. But when it say, but he shall overcome at the last, because we gonna remember, we gonna get our power back. You know, starting with 12,000 chosen of each tribe. It's gonna be 12,000 Gadites. It's gonna be part of that elect. We're gonna rule the kingdom, and then we gonna do the ass kicking when it's time. All right. Now it say, out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Dainties. Let me go to Asher. Who is that? Asher is Colombia to Uruguay. So the Incas. All right. And remember, Incas. It reminds me of the Incas. They was famous for making the chocolate. But when it say royal dainties, what's that word? Dainties. Let's look up that word real quick. Definition. See that? Something good to eat, a delicacy. That's why Incas, they known for making their chocolate. I'm gonna look it up. Incas chocolate. Peruvian cacao, a long history of delicate, delicious chocolate. Go into it real quick. And remember, where does it say? Peru. And what tribes are we dealing with? Asher, Colombia to Uruguay. So he right in the middle, right in there. So it say Peru has a long and esteemed history of producing some of the most superior cacao in the world. Okay, and cacao is just cocoa. Okay, so there you go. Peruvian cocoa is cultivated primarily in the regions between the Andes Mountains and the Amazon rainforest. So there you go, right there. They're known for making that good quality, top quality chocolate. And I remember from hearing that in school. Anytime we went over the Incans and the Mayans and the Aztecs. But what's the difference from now and from what 10, 12 years ago? Is I didn't know that they was talking about my own people. But now I know. Go back to go back to Genesis. It says, Naphtali is a hind let loose, he giveth goodly words. And Naphtali is who? This is Naphtali. That's the Argentinians and the Chileans. And they known for, they like the dancing and the rhythm. That's why they got salsa. Like the elder said, salsa just means what is it? Sauce, like having the rhythm, having, being able to move. That's why it's a Naphtali is a hind let loose. He gives goodly words. Make sure this still recording. All right, and I'm gonna run through this because I don't want it to, run out. Doing pretty good on time. It say Joseph is a fruitful bow, even when a bow by even Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well. All right. Now remember, Joseph, he also had his name changed. So let's get that. Joseph name changed to him in the Bible. Let's see. 12 tribes. KJV. So remember, he had it changed to Ephraim. See, uh, see if something go directly to it. There we go. Well, I'm gonna just read it here because the name Joseph denotes the two tribes of Ephraim. Manasseh, his name is changed to Zaphnath Pa'aniah, Genesis 41 and 45. So let's go to Genesis 41 45 real quick. And Pharaoh called Joseph 45. And Pharaoh in 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh. Without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath Pa'aniah. He gave him to wife Asenath, daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, and Joseph went out all over Egypt. But whenever you see Joseph in the Bible, it's talking about, I mean, not anytime you see Joseph in the Bible, but in this sense, it's talking about Ephraim. And it says, Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. So we're going back to Genesis 49:23. And then, okay, so that's good. And then we'll jump down all the way down to Benjamin. It says, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall devour the spoil. And that's because the Jamaicans, they was always in packs, you know, from the guerrilla wars they was having. And then it says, and these are all the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them, and blessed them, everyone according to his blessing, he blessed them. So that's going into the 12 tribes. And real quick, let's get that some more on Joseph real quick. Because when you go into Joseph, that's where you get Ephraim and Manasseh. So like y'all was just saying, Ephraim, let's go to it. It says the tribe of Joseph is one of the tribes of Israel in biblical tradition, since the tribes Ephraim and Manasseh, often called the two half tribes of Joseph, together traditionally constituted this tongue twister. Together traditionally constituted the tribe of Joseph. It was often not listed as one of the tribes in favor of Ephraim being listed in its place. Which we know that when it comes down to it, those two different tribes, because two different tribes of people. Even though Ephraim and Manasseh were Joseph's sons, so there you go. They were considered heads of two of the 12 tribes of Israel because Joseph's father, Jacob, renamed in later by life God as Israel, adopted Ephraim and Manasseh as his own sons, Genesis 48, 1 and 16. All right. But once again, just to sum it all up, when you go into the 12 tribes of Israel, anyone that tries to make their argument, man, nah, it's only blacks, where there ain't no 12 tribes, which, come on, you can't make that argument because scriptures tell you that. Or you try to say the 12 tribes extinct, they ain't, we can't identify who they is nowadays. There's too many people in the world. The Bible don't say anything about being blacks and Latinx and Native Americans. Well, let's go into the history and let's go into the scriptures and let's see exactly what's going on. But yeah, that's all this video was. Just debunking the 12 tribes, identifying who exactly those other 10 tribes were that was led into captivity by the Assyrians and where they ended up at and how it's leading all back to today. So with that, man, we're gonna close it out. Getting all glory and all praises once again to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Hopefully, brothers and sisters that was watching was edified. With that, we're gonna say shalom.